Welcome to Creative Manifestation. Today I wanted to talk about the topic of, are you addicted to negativity? Because I think this is a really important topic. Actually, this kind of came into my awareness from the teachings of Dr. Joe Dispenza when he talks about us being addicted to negative feelings and emotions. And that's why we don't shift into our desired reality or into, the person we want to become. And I wanted to give 5 ways to kind of like maybe find out if you're addicted to negativity. And so I wrote down a few things I want to read. Are you drawn to negative stories, media, or gossip? That's number 1. So if you are drawn to those things and you kind of relish in them, or you're, wanting to talk about them, and bring those things into your reality, or like you're attracted to those stories, or, and then maybe talking about them in your normal day, then this could be a sign that you're addicted to negativity, because actually emotions like this have an energetic vibration, and they are like a drug. It sounds crazy because you're like, why would I want that in my life? Like, I don't want negativity, but it is like a drug, because it's something that gives you this sense of being alive and a jolt inside of yourself. And if you notice it, you can become aware of it. When you're starting to get into that like vibration, you can actually feel it inside of yourself, and it will come up as almost like an adrenaline rush. So that's one way to find out. Number 2, do you feel a sense of importance when you try to prove others wrong or see others struggle or fail? This could be another way to find out if you're addicted to negativity, because if you kind of like to watch like a story about somebody like, having just maybe a bad situation, or like, even like a celebrity that's like, going through a hard time and like their life's falling apart, or, that kind of stuff is a negative experience that you're watching someone else have, that kind of makes you feel better about yourself or better about your own life in a way, in some way, which I don't know why it would really, but it, that's an addicted to negativity type of vibration, because you're kind of wanting to see other people do badly, or, wanting them to fail, or wanting them to not do well. And so that feeling will come up most likely, of that sort of like high feeling, like for a minute or whatever. It doesn't last. It's not like a good thing that lasts and makes you feel amazing, but it could give you that like jolt, if you need a jolt and you're looking for something to lift you up. That's not the way to go about it, but that's a sign of being addicted to negativity. And this isn't like to judge anyone. It's just, this is kind of like one of the things in manifestation and reprogramming ourselves that we want to look for to shift away from, because that's going to help us manifest and create our reality the way we want to, when we're not getting drawn into these energies of negativity. So the next, number 3, is, do you feel a sense of doom or worry? So this is an old program that could be from childhood, and when you were maybe in a traumatic situation, or things in your past that were very tumultuous and negative. And so a lot of us have this programming from our early childhood of the sense of worry and doom that can come from trauma as well. So looking at that is important, because then we can see, what is that program running in our subconscious that's of that negative vibration. And then we can, once we're aware that we're doing it, we can change it and shift it into a more positive vibration, because you're like, okay, this isn't me now. This isn't my current reality now. I'm just playing out this doom, worry vibration that isn't even in this current reality. That's the other thing. Like, it's like a fight or flight response, because it's been hardwired into us from a young age from trauma or traumatic experiences. And that can be one of those feelings we're actually addicted to, even though we don't want to be. But we could be addicted to them, because what it is doing for us when we're in the state of fear and worry is we actually think we're keeping ourselves safe a lot of times by feeling this fear and being worried, because you feel like, oh, if I feel the fear and I'm worried, then this won't happen. But actually it's attracting it into your reality. And so that's why it's important to get clear if you have this feeling, because it's actually, not real. It's kind of like one of those things, like if you were running from a lion or a tiger or something, that's valid because you have this real threat there that you're trying to protect yourself from. But when you live from that old program of fear and worry, that's actually just a program, and it's a fight or flight response to previous traumas and stresses. The next one, number 4, is, are you living in past negative events? So that kind of ties together with the one I was just talking about of living with a sense of doom or worry. It's living in past negative events is, I've seen this a lot in people where they replay stories, old negative stories from their past, what happened to them in high school, what happened to them in childhood, and just, situations and these experiences that they're replaying over and over again. That is actually an addiction to negativity, because that isn't currently happening in your reality now. That is an old thing that happened. It's not invalidating it, because that, you had this trauma and that's valid, but replaying it in the current state that you're in is actually doing you a disservice, because that's the past. And so that's kind of an addicted to negativity feeling, because you're living in the past experiences. Number 5 is, do you go to negative feelings over positive? So, like that glass half full type of saying, like, do you look at the glass half full or half empty? Do you look at situations like you're expecting the negative to happen instead of the positive to happen? And this is really sometimes difficult to overcome, because you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch or whatever. Like, you want to, think, oh, maybe it won't work out sometimes, and that's okay. It's okay to think that, but sometimes, but the truth is, we want to expect the best. And so when we're putting something out there or doing something, it's better to believe the universe is supporting us and that we're going to be okay. Whatever it turns out to be is what it's meant to be. And so we're trusting in the process of creation. And that's really what we ultimately want to do when we're trying to manifest and create a reality for ourselves, is that we're trusting this process of creation and not looking at things in a negative way and trying to spin things more to the positive, to where we're actually, in a better, higher vibrational state rather than a negative vibrational state. So that's what I wanted to share today. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.